Leaking top insider stock trades every day until they stop us. Weekend edition. I get asked all the time if I use CEO Watcher data in my own investing, and the answer is yes. But before I dive into exactly how I use it, there's two data points that you need to know. One, counterintuitively, insider selling has been a much better signal than insider buying since at least 2021, and I bet that goes all the way back to 2015 for reasons I can explain later. Basically, when insiders sell, the stock tends to underperform the index over the next 1 month to 12 months, but when insiders buy, the stock does not tend to outperform the index. And the second data point to know is that insider sells tend to have a much longer signal than insider buys. So for insider selling, the stock continues to perform worse and worse on average as you get further away from the sale up to a year. So 1 month to 3 months to 6 months to 12 months, the stock continues to get worse. Whereas insider buying, pretty much all the signal is really close to when the sale actually happens, more in that 1 week to 1 month range, maybe up to 3 months. So because of these data points, I actually tend to use insider selling much more than insider buying, and I'm much more vigilant about when I actually use insider buying as a signal. So for insider selling, anytime there's a notable sale, if I own the stock, I tend to sell it, or if I was looking at the stock, I tend to avoid it. And even quite recently, this has actually saved me quite a bit of money as I owned all of GitLab, Snowflake, and Coinbase in that June-July timeframe when insiders started dumping the stock. The insiders were selling GitLab. Brian Armstrong, the CEO at Coinbase, made $150 million and $160 million sales, which are far and away his largest sales ever. And the ex-CEO at Snowflake also made his largest sales ever. And the stock on all of those is way down since then. For insider buying, like I mentioned, I use it much less frequently, and I'm specifically looking for very strong stories around the insider buying. So here are a couple of examples. One, Trump has been very pro the defense industry since he took over office. And in the spring, we saw the CEO at Kratos Defense buying the stock. So I was very bullish on the defense industry in general just because of Trump's stance on it. And then you see an insider buying the stock as well. So now you have two bullish signals, which just make you more confident in that idea. And in this case, Kratos was not actually a defense stock I owned, so I added it to my defense play, and it ended up being the best performing one of that defense basket. Another more recent example is Tilray Brands. Trump has appeared to be pretty pro-cannabis and likely to reclassify it, which has been a boon for the industry. And we also saw at the end of July and beginning of August, we saw insiders at Tilray buying the stock, and the stock is already up over 50% since then, which is another alignment between a bullish industry or a bullish sector and bullish insider activity at a company in the sector. So when those two signals align, it makes you more confident in the idea again. And lastly, an idea that you could play with right now would be the healthcare sector, where we see different insider positioning at different companies. So Hims has had some negative press come out, and their earnings were a little iffy with growth slowing quite a bit. And on top of that, we saw the CEO making a